Hello, Lisa. Welcome back. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay, Mr. Urich.
Good, good. I really like your hat. What's that say? Is that Bass Pro Shop? I've been there before. Do you go there?
I went with my parents.
Oh, nice, nice. Did you happen
They
to
got
buy
this hat for
anything?
free, so they gave it to me.
Oh, you got it. Okay, nice. Did you buy anything camping gear or a fishing pole or anything like that?
No, we were just looking.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I remember from last time we were talking about some we identified that you were having some anxiety is what it was called. You were feeling, anxious, a little nervous about some tests that you were taking, and also when you were answering questions in front of the class, you were concerned about how people were feeling. Uh, and we were going to discuss that this session. Is that okay to still talk about?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's start with the test. So what is your normal what do you typically do to study for a test?
Well, I listen in class and take the notes.
Mhm.
Then I try and review my notes. And if there's stuff to read, I try and read what the teacher tells us to read.
That sounds great. That sounds like what good studying does. Do you happen to study a bunch for it, like multiple days for it, or just a bunch in one day before the test? Is that
Mm, I guess it depends on how I feel, how hard the test is,
Mhm,
but I always usually cram the night before.
mhm. Do you think that that helps with your anxiety, or do you think that gives you more anxiety to do that?
Um, I guess it gives me more because it's always on my shoulder until I do the studying.
Mm, cool. Uh,
And
do
then
you
when
think?
I'm cramming that night, of course, I have I have anxiety that night cramming.
Mhm. That's understandable. Sure. Do you feel like maybe spreading out the studying would help you at all, or is that something that you would do?
I I haven't tried it.
Mhm.
I guess I could try it.
Okay. Well, so that might be something that you could start to implement, but I was thinking when you're having the anxiety, when you're feeling the nervousness about it, I was gonna ask if you would like to go through a breathing exercise to see if we can kind of calm that down while you are actually actively feeling that nervousness. How does that sound?
I would try that.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to explain it and then I'll go through it with you. How's that?
Okay.
Okay, so it's called box breathing. And just imagine a box that as you inhale, you're going up the side of a box. And you're inhaling for 4 seconds. And then you're going to hold it for 4 seconds. So once you reach up here at the top of the box, as you're going to this side of the box, it's going to be another 4 seconds where you're holding that deep breath in. And then on when once we reach to this side, then we're going to exhale for 4 seconds down and then hold it for 4 seconds with all of your breath exhaled and then start again going up. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and count and you just go ahead and follow along. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start to inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4 and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the more that you do that, right? You can do that like maybe 3 or 4 times in a row. That will definitely help bring you down and bring that nervousness down. And it could really help with your anxiety to help you focus more on what you're studying as well. Do you think you could do that when you're starting to feel those anxious thoughts and feelings?
I could do it.
All
That
right,
was easy.
good, good, good. Um, ooh, move my camera a little bit there. Okay, so um, and then so the other thing was is when you're participating in class, can you kind of run me through like what you're feeling or what's going on with that? Can you give me an example?
Well, I I do get anxious just like for the test, my heart starts fluttering,
Mhm.
but my mind starts racing because I can hear the in my mind the kids laughing at me or you know I get worried. I go through that my mind is racing that I might pronounce words or I can't pronounce them or I just get nervous about even them thinking that I'm stupid or I don't know what to do or I don't know how to read it.
Okay.
I just don't like that feeling.
Yeah. That's very understandable. I definitely I've been there myself, and I think a lot of people have. Um,
Oh,
yeah. So upon from the studying, like that's kind of preparing you for being able to answer those questions. That's kind of a side thing. But so when you're let's actually analyze one of those things you said that you were feeling that you could be called stupid. Has there ever been an occasion where somebody has called you stupid for not knowing something?
I can't remember any right now.
Hmm. Okay. Well,
Off- I
let's go ahead and I want to ask is has there
I was trying to remember.
Oh, yes. Um, well, it doesn't seem like there's uh something coming to mind immediately. I kind of wanted to know on the other side of things, have there been times where people have celebrated you for knowing the right answer?
Yes, I know my teacher told me one time, good job, because I knew an answer
Okay.
and I stated it. But
Yeah.
it was only between her and I. It wasn't in front of the whole class.
Oh, okay. So there wasn't a lot of people around when that was happening. It was just you and the teacher. Is that what you're saying that it was
Well,
only you and the
maybe a
teacher?
couple kids beside me, but not anything, not in front of the whole class.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Well, so thinking those thoughts, right, and that you say that you're stupid, that might not be 100% true, right? There might be it, for you to think that anyway, that might not be 100% true, and you don't really have any evidence or examples off the top of your head right now that anyone is actually thinking that you're stupid, because I'm sure other kids in your class have gotten wrong answers too. Has that happened?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay. And did you think that those kids were stupid in that manner, or did you were like, oh, maybe that was something I didn't really know either?
No, I didn't think that they were stupid. I just thought that they needed, I mean, we're in there to learn. So I just thought that they needed to know what the right answer was.
Oh,
And so did I.
yeah. Okay. Well, that's wonderful. And I'd like for you to think about those kind of things when you're actually having those thoughts about yourself, because maybe the other kids are thinking very similar to you, is maybe they don't know. Maybe you needed to know the right
Oh,
answer or just study a little more as well. Yeah.
oh, oh, yeah. I
Mhm.
guess I didn't ever think that. I just automatically thought that they would think I was stupid.
Yeah. So I definitely don't think you're stupid. I think you're very intelligent, and you've just grown as of right now. You challenged a thought that you were having in your head, and that takes a lot of smarts to be able to do that, to realize that maybe what I'm thinking in myself, it might not necessarily be true. And that takes a lot of brains to do that. And that's a wonderful thing that you'll be able to do throughout your entire life. So I'm really glad that you're kind of processing this and coming up with these ideas. And so just one last thing on that is that when you are feeling anxious, maybe in the classroom, maybe you can do that box breathing. Remember the up four, over
Yes.
four, down four, and over four again. You can do that while you're in class as well to kind of subside that anxiety. And and just know that if you do get the wrong answer, that's okay. Because you're there to learn, like you said. That's a very important thing, is that that's the reason why you're at school, and not you're not supposed to know everything. That's why you're there to learn, and then you can take that knowledge on to the next grade and the next grade, and then obviously go into college, and you learn things, so just along the way. So maybe being a little easier on yourself, and then spreading out that studying, maybe. I mean, you could definitely, maybe only 30 minutes, 30 minutes a day instead of cramming that 4 or 5 hours or something before the test. Um, there's a there it will help retain that memory. The more that you do it, it'll go into your long-term memory instead of just your short-term memory, and it'll help you remember these things if you spread out the studying as well.
Will that help my grades then?
Oh, sure. It absolutely would. Yep, because the more that you're able to remember things, it's let's run through that real quick. So, you get up and you brush your teeth every morning. Well, you learn that somehow. It was through repetition that you learned to do that. And the same thing goes for learning anything new, including schoolwork. So the more times that you do it, the more you remember how to do it, and the better that you are at it. Instead of just, if you just
Oh,
brushed your teeth one time for a long time, that could be a very difficult thing to maybe remember if you only did it once a month. And
that
plus your
makes
breath would
sense.
probably stink a little bit too. Yeah.
I bet it would.
Yeah. All right. So just kind of wrapping up and summarizing these things is so it might be a good idea to spread out the studying a little bit, and just remember, when you're starting to feel anxious and in your chest and in your stomach, you get those butterflies and you start to feel nervous, go remember to just take a few deep breaths and do that box breathing, and then when you're in class and stuff, just maybe remember that you are there to learn, and that you're there to grow, and it is everybody's opportunity to do it. And that the feelings that you have towards other kids getting wrong answers, other kids are probably doing the same thing and having similar thoughts. Yeah,
Okay,
wonderful.
that will help.
Well, I like to think that it will. So, um, just go ahead and try to do that this week, and we'll talk about it next week once you come on back, and we'll check in then to see if we need to maybe mix something up or try something different, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Urich.
Well, you're very welcome, Lisa, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and thank you for coming in. It was good seeing you.
Thank you.
And I
You
really like
too.
that hat. I'm really gonna have to go pick one up myself. That's pretty good. So All right.
Well, they're there.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Well, I'll see you. Okay. Have a good week.
Bye.
All right. Bye.